Harding University will be offering a new science degree next fall. I'm Melissa Hayes.
And lock your doors. Searcy Police says car burglaries are on the rise. I'm Marissa Shepard.
Well, taking a look at the radar, looks like there's a little bit of rain coming our way, but we may not be seeing it. We'll have more of that in weather, plus Kara with your sports and more news. Live at 5 starts right now.
Harding University will offer a new degree beginning next fall that students who follow CSI should appreciate. The students already offers a degree in biochemistry, biology, and chemistry, but this new Bachelor of Science degree in biochemistry and molecular biology combines all three. Professor of Chair of the Department of Physical Science, Dr. David Cole, says biotechnology has emerged as the most promising area for research and development within the fields of biochemistry, biology, and medicine. High school students interested in pursuing a degree in biochemistry and molecular biology should contact the Office of Administrative Services.
Harding University's art department has begun its senior art shows. TV 16 talked with art professor Daniel Adams about the shows.
Okay, the senior art show that's going on right now is 4 different students. They're all graphic design majors, and all senior art majors put on an art show. And these all happen to be graphic design majors. In this gallery is Ivy Crosby and Lauren Lehman. And in the next gallery is Kylie Mabry and Cherish Ferguson. The shows are usually up for 2 weeks at a time. And so this show just came up this past Sunday, so it'll be up for this week and next week as well.
There are 15 to 20 students expected to display their art shows this semester. Students can view the shows Monday through Friday from 8 to 5.
Spring Scene tickets went on sale Tuesday. They will be sold every Tuesday and Thursday from 1 to 4 in the Benson ticket booth. Tickets for Friday and Saturday are $12. The Thursday performance tickets are $10, and purchasers will also receive a free ticket for the musical CPR. Tickets also go on sale online at www.hardingtickets.com.
Preparations for next fall's Student Impact program are already underway. Student Impact directors Ryan Davenport and Betsy Glover are hard at work planning for the 3-day orientation period for incoming freshmen and transfers. TV 16 spoke with Davenport.
Impact is basically for orientation that we do 3 days before school starts to get them into the school, find out, give them information, and get them set up for the upcoming school year. Our goals is to make sure that the freshmen get more out of it than they usually do. Sometimes they get burnt out of it, or they don't go to the energy groups and they lose some information. So we want to make it more fast-paced, more interactive, so they don't get bored and wonder why they're here 3 days early. We're going to improve the energy groups by condensing more, instead of spreading them out, by condensing them so we can get more information in at a faster time, and then going and trying to start them with experience of college, kind of like the fun stuff, trying to show them what Harding University is going to be about before Harding starts.
If you're a theater student just wanting more experience, or just someone who wants to showcase your acting ability, a new drama miniseries is in production. Harding University's TV writing and production class is holding auditions tonight in room 211 of the Reynolds Building at 7:30. The miniseries will air on TV 16 at the end of the semester.
Rock climbers, grab your gear and head on out to the Zion Rock Gym in Searcy. The gym will be hosting its first climbing competition this Saturday. The competition is called Project Send and is open to competitors of all ages and skill levels. Prizes will be given in the men, women, and children's categories. Registration will begin at noon on Saturday, and the competition will begin at 1. A local band will perform, and everyone will be able to try new climbing routes on the walls. For more information about the competition or the gym, call 501-368-8500.
Searcy police say car burglaries are becoming an increasing problem. Department spokeswoman Amber Dillon says that more than 50 car burglaries have occurred since October of last year. She says the majority of the burglaries have involved cars that have been left unlocked, rather than incidents involving breaking windows to get into them. And it's not stereos and electronic equipment that are being stolen. Dillon says that thieves have stolen personal papers, which could lead to identity theft. Dillon stressed that people should lock their car doors and should not leave items such as personal papers in sight.
A former Searcy Bank president was honored for his 39 years of service. Former First Security Bank President Jim Wilson began his work in the bank in 1967. Searcy Mayor Belinda LaForce presented him with a key to the city and declared February 28th Jim Wilson Day. New Jersey serial killer hears from his victims' family members in court today.
But coming up after the break, we'll take a look at weather with
Well, you might notice some clouds coming into the area around 2 or 3 o'clock today and lower temperatures. And on the radar, we see a little moisture heading into Arkansas. Let's put this map in motion. You'll see kind of the progression over the last couple hours and some readings heavier coming out of Scott and Yell and Logan counties. But we probably won't see any moisture on the ground here in Searcy. Why is that? Well, let's step out and take a look at the nationwide picture, and you'll see this cold front right here that pushed through the area last night, and that's why it was a little cooler today. And behind it, this system that's pushing out of Oklahoma and the panhandle of Texas, helping out some of those wildfires, hopefully. But as it gets to Arkansas, this high pressure at the surface causes dry air, and a lot of that moisture evaporates before it even gets to the ground. So we probably won't see much rain later on this afternoon or this evening, but we will as another front starts to push through, a warm front later on into the weekend. Here are the temperatures, significantly cooler today, about 10 degrees. It was 53 in Kansas City, 80 in Dallas, and they saw about 90 yesterday, 80 in New Orleans, and we're right there in the middle of the 70s and the 60s. Got a 67 in Atlanta, so the southeast pretty mild today and pretty enjoyable. The regional satellite shows some clouds starting to move in associated with that system that we talked about coming behind the cold front. And it's going to continue to push into Arkansas and bring cooler temperatures and set up for that rain that we're going to see later on. Again, on the radar, you see that moisture out there. Nothing much to concern us at the moment. 70 in Little Rock, 73 in Hot Springs, 60s up in the northwest portion of the state, 71 in Jonesboro, and at the home of the Blues, it's 70 degrees just across the river in Memphis. The current conditions right now, it's cloudy outside, 68 degrees. The humidity significantly less than yesterday by about 30 percentage points. And that is what really made it most enjoyable outside, was just the dry air. The 15 is the dew point, and the barometer right now is holding steady, but we're going to see it take a dive here over the next couple of days. Northwest breeze, though, about 5 miles an hour. Today we had a high of 73, a low of 59, and it was as hot as 81 degrees back in 1976, 14 the record low from 1980. So tonight we're going to see much cooler temperatures outside, 41 degrees, a northwest wind of 5 to 10, but still partly cloudy. None of that rain like you're seeing in the radar. Tomorrow, again, still partly cloudy, 58 degrees, and a northeast wind of 10 miles an hour. But let's look at the forecast, and you'll see, though it does get cooler tomorrow, you'll probably want to take a light jacket out with you. We're going to see Saturday a 20% chance of rain. That's as that front starts to move into our area, and that's when our first chance is. It's going to increase, though, on Sunday, and that's your best chance to see showers and thunderstorms with a high of 55 and a 40% chance of the wet stuff. It'll dry out on Monday, but it will still continue to, another front will push through and still continue to bring us chances of rain later on the early part of next work week. So Light jacket for tomorrow as it gets cooler, and be prepared for some rain. Nothing severe we're expecting out of either of these systems, but still, you want to be prepared for a little bit of wet weather. That's all, and back to the news desk after this.
Harding University's American Studies Institute offers Arkansas's most distinguished lecture series. Only at Harding University have students been able to hear George H.W. Bush, Margaret Thatcher, Mikhail Gorbachev, Colin Powell, Dick Cheney, and a host of others as they share their perspectives on world events. This global perspective sets Harding apart from other schools, and it is just one way Harding is engaging the hearts and minds of its students.
I could reach the stars, pour one down for you, so you can see the truth, that I can change the world. I would be the sunlight in your universe, and if I could, I'd change the world.
A murder suspect is back in the Pulaski County Jail after he was accidentally released. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office realized yesterday morning that 34-year-old Armin Houston was released last week. The suspect's wife drove him back to the jail yesterday afternoon and he turned himself in. The Sheriff's Office says they weren't aware of the mistake until the Little Rock Police Department called to check based on a call they had received. LRPD arrested Houston last September for the murder of a man last May. The Sheriff's Office spokesman says they believe Houston received a letter stating that he should be credited with time served for a misdemeanor driving with a suspended license charge. Whoever released him did not notice the murder charge.
Lonoke County Sheriff's Department are searching for a killer after a body was found under a bridge last night. A man was walking up and picking up cans under the bridge when he came across a body. Police identified the victim as an African-American woman but have yet to release her name. An autopsy is expected to be performed today. Foul play is expected.
A group of rabbit hunters found a human skeleton at a wildlife refuge in Conway County. Police said they are treating the case as a homicide. Investors determined that the skeleton is the body of an adult, but cannot tell if it is a man or a woman. The skeleton was found wearing clothes, but no identification or personal belongings were found at the scene.
Arkansas Attorney General Mike Beebe filed a lawsuit Tuesday against MoneyInAFlash.net of Arkansas. The Jonesboro company entered into contracts with consumers for internet service that does also include loans at unlawful interest rates. Under the terms of contracts, consumers could receive upfront loans disguised as money rebates from MoneyInAFlash.net. They were then required to make monthly payments that the company translated into annual percentage rates of up to 520%. BB is seeking to stop the loans and get resolution from consumers.
In a state-by-state analysis of the nation's mental health care system, Arkansas receives a D-. The state organization of the National Alliance of Mental Illness made the announcement. The national average is a D. Arkansas ranked 50th when it came to per capita spending on mental health.
The Senate voted overwhelmingly to renew the USA Patriot Act today. The vote comes after months of debate over legislation that supporters said struck a better balance between privacy rights and the government's power to hunt down terrorists. The 89-10 vote marked a bright spot in President Bush's troubled second term. The House is expected to pass the legislation next week and send it to Bush, who would sign it before 16 provisions expire March 10th. And also, family members of victims of New Jersey's most prolific serial killer faced off against former nurse in court today. Some of them had waited years to defend Charles Cullen, had filed court papers trying to avoid confrontation. For nearly 4 hours, 24 relatives of the dead told a New Jersey judge that what Colin had taken from them. Judge Paul W. Armstrong then handed down 11 consecutive life sentences. Parole is out of the question since Colin will not be eligible since he has served 397 years. Colin pled guilty to committing 22 murders in New Jersey and 7 in Pennsylvania. He also admitted attempting to murder 6 people.
India's Prime Minister and President Bush said today their countries have reached an agreement on a landmark nuclear deal. The agreement is a victory for President Bush on his first visit to India. The deal will separate India's civilian and military nuclear programs. The Bush administration says that's essential to bringing India in step with other nuclear powers. Also under the agreement, the U.S. would share American nuclear know-how and fuel with India to help power its fast-growing economy.
Pakistani police say a car bomb exploded between the U.S. consulate and a Marriott hotel in the southern port of Karachi this morning. The bomb set a number of vehicles on fire. GOTV reported 2 people were killed and 34 others wounded in the blast. Numerous vehicles, including at least 1 police truck, had windows blown off and doors blown off. The bombing comes just days before President Bush is to arrive in Pakistan.
There will soon be a new $10 bill in your pocket. Today, the Federal Reserve started shipping the first 800 million new $10 bills. The bills will feature shades of red, yellow, and orange. The new $10 bill will help keep the Bureau of Engraving and Printing one step ahead of counterfeiters. You should see the new $10 bill start showing up in registers in a few days. And after the break, how much do you know about your First Amendment rights? The results of a surprising new study coming up.
And I have more on Jordan Blake's condition and sports coming up next after the break.
Someday, I'll be a ballerina, just like them. And this will be my stage, where I twirl and float and swirl. Someday, this won't just be my wish. Someday, I won't be sick.
The Bison baseball team will open Gulf South Conference play and travel to Henderson State this weekend to compete in a 3-game series. The Bisons are now 7-6 and celebrating the victory over Crichton College earlier this week. The Harding lacrosse team will travel for the first time this weekend to St. Charles, Missouri. They will play Lindenwood B team and the University of Missouri in Rolla. So far this season, the Bisons have been very successful, winning all 3 home games. Several weekends ago, Harding's Ultimate Frisbee team, the Apocalypse, finished second in the Hendricks Ultimate Experience in Little Rock, losing to Arkansas 15-13 in the finals. This weekend, the team will travel to Springfield, Missouri to play in Frostbite, a tournament hosted by the Missouri State Frisbears. Riverview High School in Searcy is hosting the Region 3 high school basketball tournament. This last season was the first full season of use for the school's multi-purpose facility, the Riverview Activity Center. Although they are playing at home, the Lady Raiders have already lost out in the first round of the state finals against Star City last Tuesday afternoon. The tournament still continues and is a very popular event across the state.
Americans apparently know more about the cartoon The Simpsons than they do about the First Amendment. Only 1 in 4 Americans are able to name more than one of the 5 freedoms guaranteed in the First Amendment. But according to a recent survey, more than half of all Americans can name at least 2 members of the Simpsons cartoon family. The study by the New The new study by the McCormick Tribune Freedom Museum found that 22% of all Americans could name all 5 Simpson family members, compared with just 1 in 1,000 people who could name all 5 First Amendment freedoms. Well, I don't think I could name any of the Simpson family.
I don't think I could either.
So maybe I'm not in that percentile. But anyway, so weather.
Well, again, dry tonight and tomorrow. A warm front's going to start to push through the area on Saturday night especially. That's when we'll see our chance for rain really increase, and that's when our temperatures will start to go back up, and by Tuesday we should be nearing 60s again.
Oh, that'd be great.
Sounds great.
Remember to keep Jordan Blake in your prayers also. He's still in critical condition.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. Well, that's all the news we have for you tonight. Be sure to tune in tomorrow with Emily and Katie.
From all of us here at TV 16, have a great night.
Sorry.